responses. I couldn't do that. I was too nerve-wracking. And but we would sit around and wait. We'd hook our computer up to a program called Dial Idle. Some of you guys might have heard of it, and we'd click Vote Jordan.
Would you vote for yourself?
I voted for myself a few times. There were people back home voting for 2 hours straight for me, and I wasn't one to let them down either. And so I tried to get in there, and my wife sat there and voted 2 hours straight for me every single week. She would try to get me. She tried to get me to vote for myself, and I felt weird about it, but I did sometimes.
One vote you, one vote Jordan.
Well, I pulled my computer up to Jordan. I probably sent out 300 votes for Jordan every week. And I might have sent out myself like 10.
Who you stayed in touch with from that season?
Pretty much everybody. You got to understand, American Idol, it's a very bonding experience. You get really close with the people you're on with, and then you end up meeting other people, and you get close with them too. I'm still very much in contact with people like Bo Bice, Taylor Hicks, Justin Guarini, Paula Abdul. I'm in contact with a lot of people that are involved in American Idol.
How about Sanjay and Malachi?
Sanjay's a great kid, man. Let me tell you something. He's a lot more talented than you guys give him credit for.
Oh, I love that.
When you go back and watch his original audition, you see what a great voice he had. And the truth of the matter is, when he got on the stage, there was no monitors. There was no way for him to hear himself. Are there any 17-year-olds in this room right now? Any 17-year-olds? Any 18-year-olds? Well, how would you feel about coming out in the middle of this room and singing for us right now?
Yeah, I would do that.
So think about a 17-year-old kid singing for 30-something million people and not being able to hear himself.
Wow.
Now, Jordan Sparks is one story. She was 17 years old as well, but she had already toured professionally. She'd been on the road with Michael W. Smith already before she was on American Idol. And she'd gotten up and she'd sang at those big festivals without monitors, and she had learned how to do that. But most teenagers don't know how to do that. That's why most of them fall on their face when they get there. And he did a couple times, and he knew he did. But the bottom line was that he was actually good. And let me tell you something. We already talked to somebody about this earlier. If he went to PBS and started a kids show, today he would be more famous than any American Idol.
Have you told him that? Because I think he should.
I told him that coming off the show. I'm telling you, you'd have little guitars with him singing, like doing this hula dance, like on the end of it, you know, and the hairdo on the end. You could change it out. You could buy different hairdos. I told him, let me manage you, bro. We'll be billionaires. Come on. But he felt like his artistic integrity would have been compromised, so he went off and wrote a book and put out a record instead.
Behind you.
So, do you still have any commitments with Idol? Or would you have to do like?
I don't have any commitments with American Idol. This is the first season that I haven't been back on the show since I was off of it. But it's just because I got along with everybody there. And that's part of the reason I don't have any commitments with them. When I went to them, Disney came to me and offered me a recording contract, an entertainment deal in the middle of the American Idol tour. Generally, they don't let people out, but we had a great relationship, so they released me completely from all of my obligations with them. So that was very cool of them, and they absolutely got nothing from anything that I've done since then. They promoted me. They've been really good for me.
When did you start singing?
I started singing when I was a little kid. Now, I grew up in church playing the drums. I wasn't a great drummer, but I loved it. I played all through my teenage years. In fact, I still play for my church at home sometimes. But when I would be off the drums, I'd get up and sing. And I've got pictures of myself in diapers singing solos in front of my church. No kidding. I'm wearing a t-shirt and diapers. But I stopped wearing diapers around the 9th grade. So. Is that not normal?
About the time you started losing your hair off.
About the time that I started losing my hair.
How did you choose to do American Idol over any other venue?
It's kind of a funny story. I was in the Navy, active duty. One of my friends from college, actually the college that these guys are going to now, was getting married. He asked me to be the best man at his wedding. I couldn't do it because I was booked to be with the Navy at that time. He got so mad at me, and he told me the only way he'd ever forgive me for missing his wedding is if I auditioned for American Idol. So I went with my friend to the audition. I literally didn't expect anything to happen out of it. We just went for fun. I sang my little heart out, ready for her to look at me and say, "No, you're not what we're looking for." But instead she said, "Congrats, you're coming through."
What was your audition song?
My initial audition songs were God Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, Get Here by Oleta Adams. She had me sing 3 different songs. And then after that, I started kind of being influenced to sing Motown songs. And so when I went and sang in front of the judges, there was only a couple of Motown songs I knew. One of them was My Girl, which was appropriate because my wife had just had a baby when I auditioned. And then I sang Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. Because my wife had just delivered a baby, and I knew that's not what she wanted to hear from me, and so I sang it. I thought it would be funny. It was for us. Yes. Oh, you were bouncing yourself.